Welcome to the Nations Cup Round 2 at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. We have an interesting race here, a little bit of a surprise race here, I think, and let's get into it. We've got 6 corners and we do need to look out for 4, 5 and 6. They're quite challenging corners, and that's not to say that the rest aren't difficult either, especially in these high-speed cars. We start here in 5th position, and I think that puts us in a pretty solid place to try for a win here. We should be able to get a podium finish starting in 5th today. It's worth noting that this is a very narrow track and these cars are high speed and wide cars. It's difficult to make an overtake on this track in these cars. Now this first corner is quite a slow speed corner, and getting the power back down afterwards does cause a lot of people to slip, as you just see there from Miguel. Now we do get the position and get up into 4th here, and Miguel slips in behind and manages not to make contact, which we're very appreciative of. Now going into turn 3, Miguel does go for a bit of a dive bomb in my opinion, and we get forced onto the grass just a little bit, but he did leave racing room, so we're not going to be too miffed about that. Now going into turn 4, we have ourselves back in 5th place, and Miguel goes for another dive bomb on the Frenchman here, and we do give him a little nudge as a little extra beans on that corner. That does result in us getting a 3-second penalty, which I think is a little bit harsh, but we get treated like a mobile chicane by Koala here, the Italian. Let's just see a little replay of that. It does cause quite the pile-up. I don't know if there was some revenge coming from a couple of the other drivers here due to the fairly dangerous beginning. Now we do serve our penalty and we take 3 seconds here, and that does push us back to 12th place. So that thought of a podium at the beginning of the race does feel a little bit far-sighted now. We do get very close to Joseph here. I do think there's a little bit of contact, but nothing consequential. And it does lead us to pushing for position. We do get into 11th here, and Joseph does try for the outside and forces himself off the edge of the track. Again, I don't think that was my fault. As we see here, I think he just took too much speed into that corner, trying a move that just didn't really exist, to be honest. Now Miguel is still moving past people. Could say he's barging past people too, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt as we take a little bit of a knock from El Tyler here. But we do again manage to get the position through that corner. We do try and leave racing room here, but El Tyler moves back, and just ahead of us, Miguel finally sees his fate. Do go a little bit deep here, but we managed to stay in front, as I think El Tyler took that corner deep as well. So we get 7th position, and we are feeling pretty safe in 7th here, pushing ahead of the cars behind us. Now all those drivers that knocked people off on the previous lap face their penalties, and we get past them too. So we are now up into 4th position. Now 1 lap later we have caught up to Gilles, the Frenchman, and we do push for an overtake on the first corner on the 5th lap. But we go far too deep, and he captures that position back on the outside of the first turn. Now we have set the fastest lap so far with a 1:19.5. And that does give us promise, considering we've made it up into 3rd place, that we might get further. A little bit of a netcode problem there, I think. A little bit of a lag from Gilles, and he goes off and we get the position there. Now we are looking at Balsano, who does take a knock on the edge of the track, and we have caught up to 2nd and 1st place here. I think because they were battling throughout the track, throughout the laps whilst they were ahead of us, it did keep them within range, so we have actually caught up in 3rd place now to the leaders of the race. Once again, we do have the fastest lap, even fast now with 1:19.1. And again, that gives us promise for getting the win here, considering we've caught up with first and second. The challenge now is just getting ahead of second place to make sure that first doesn't run away with this. Because now we're battling, we could slow ourselves down a little bit too much. Now we're putting a lot of pressure onto P2. We do put a little knock on them as well, but again, it's inconsequential. They stay ahead of us. Now, being so close going into the straight, we do have the slipstream, and I do think we can make a pass here, so that's what we go for. Balsano, as we saw in the previous race, was quite a friendly driver, so we were pretty confident we could go into the chicane here at the end without any consequence. He did take the break early, and I managed to pass in front of him into second place. So now we're just chasing down P1, and that is the mission for the rest of this race. We've got 6 laps left, and we are pretty much on their tail, so I'll let you decide who you think's going to win this one. Now we do manage to close down on Rapido here, the Frenchman, very quickly, as we have already passed P2 at the chicane on this previous lap. Again, we're really trying to play a safe drive here. We don't want to knock anyone off the track again, so we are avoiding any serious contact. Frenchman goes for a defensive move here, and it does keep him in first place. Do give him a little knock, but again, it doesn't seem to cause any problems. And as we're coming down the straight, as I did have the slipstream, we get ourselves in front. Now all we have to do from lap 9, we just need to race a clean race without any mistakes, and just make that gap to P2. Now, as you can see here, Skyhawk does take the fastest lap, so that does put us onto another mission, which is getting the fastest lap back. As you can see, we've taken ourselves quite far ahead of P2. We are now about 4 seconds ahead, so there's not really too much worry unless we have a serious accident. Now we're clocking purples through the lap, and it seems that we should be able to get the fastest lap, but we just need to get this last part of the track done right. And there we have it, fastest lap, about 0.03 of a second faster than the previous fastest lap. And we are just cruising through on the final lap of the race, about 5 seconds ahead. Campione! Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video. Check out my channel for more videos like this and lap guides for future Gran Turismo events.